5,
99, 98,
4,
97.
3, ignore,
13,
Taylor.
69,
420.
8. Blaze it. Bow, bow.
Last time on Louder Than Podcast, we came back from the break and said we were coming back to podcast regularly. Then we were late. Then we weren't. Now we're back on a regularly scheduled time slot. If we're not, blame Eric or anyone else, but mostly Eric. Tonight, we are back with an action-packed broadcast featuring 3 major subjects. Will the Louder Than Podcasters find a way to make this engaging? Will Chris manage to avoid his technical issues? Do we still have Taylor's stream key active? Find out this time on Louder Than Podcast.
That was a good intro. Oh man, I feel energized and ready to go.
Much like Goku fighting Cell.
No.
Or more recently,
That was
the Grey.
the joke, Eric. Anyway, so yeah.
Okay, so now we're mourning the headphone users. What's the first topic?
Yeah, fuck the headphone users. I'm a headphone user and I don't need no goddamn warnings.
Headphones sucks. Thank you. Good night.
Whoa, damn.
Whoa!
So we got a docket of topics that we're gonna fucking talk about. We're gonna talk about.
Man, we're aggressive today.
Wait, what?
We're aggressive today.
Dude, I'm hyped. That intro got me going. We're gonna talk about bully hunters and how bad of an idea that is. We're gonna talk about Puzzle Fighter being canceled and why games as a service can be a terrible idea, and we're gonna talk about a way out somehow redeeming EA, which is
We'll sprinkle in a couple of prides and shames between those topics. But which one did you want to start with?
Let's start with bully hunters because it's terrible.
Okay, so who wants to lead us on this categorical failure of marketing campaigns?
So, let's start off with what is Bully Hunter.
Tay, you wanna delve in?
I don't know how to describe it. Like, I really don't.
Okay. So
Is it like a
like, I
Monster
know what
Hunter
it is,
ripoff
but, like,
of
no.
hunting bullies?
Quantifying it, yeah. It could be kind of weird. Okay, so basically, this you guys know SteelSeries, right? The PC game.
It's pricey for me, but I know.
Yeah,
they
they
make
sell
like,
mouse.
Yeah, they make like headsets and keyboards and shit. Okay.
Yes, I do know the people.
So they wanted to do a new marketing stunt. So what they said was, "Hey, women get bullied online, right?" And like they kind of alluded to it happening to everybody, but really it was like, "Hey, women get bullied." And yes, they do, absolutely. But they were like, "Hey, what if we did a really dramatic live broadcast where we set up a website and send people into Counter-Strike games when they're requested by bully victims to fuck with bullies?" So you fill out like an online petition, or not petition, what's the word?
Form?
Submission form?
Submission form, thank you. And you say, "Hey, I was being bullied by like Cow Lover 69. And the bully hunters go, "We'll be there in a flash." They join your game and they find fucking Cow Lover 69 and they beat the shit out of them in game. Like they just make their life a living hell.
Oh, and then they say something in the chat like,
Oh yeah, it's like bullying is serious, bullyhunters.com or whatever. And like, I get what they're trying to do, but it's terrible because first of all, it was a thinly veiled commercial for SteelSeries.
Yeah, it was like all the equipment, like any keyboard shown, it was like all their stuff, their like logo was everywhere.
Yeah, and like they had a limited edition thing for sale, like for the event. And so the reason this is so fucking annoying is, you know, one, it was like, oh, you know, we can stop bullying by bullying the bullies, when that's exactly what makes people bully people is the reaction.
It's called science, God.
Backwards.
And like, I don't know, they made a big stink about like X percentage of women are bullied online, and I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I will say that any day it's easier to be a guy than a girl online, but like, to say that like, oh well, this is to stop bullying against women instead of, hey, like, everyone gets fucking bullied on the internet. I don't know a single person, male, female, or otherwise, who has not been bullied on the internet. It happens to literally everyone.
Yeah.
So I feel like
It's
it was
like-
a really misguided campaign.
Also, I don't think tonight we're going to be able to go into the details of like how heavily flawed the studies they used were, and I'm using studies in air quotes because they were articles, not studies that were formally conducted by third parties.
Why wouldn't we be able to go into it?
Because there's a lot of math involved, and Eric is still here.
Hey,
What?
Good point.
I'm
What does that have to do with
He'll
anything?
I
just
would
slow
kick you
the
for
whole
the chat.
process down.
gonna
No,
put you
what,
for the chat.
what I want to talk about from this is more just the community management and the like basic logic that's been failing in the campaign. It's like
What's that
as somebody
cross
who has
with
less
two
than-
little dots? Eric, that's a division symbol.
No, I'm bringing you guys from the chat.
What I wanted to focus on was more just
I just moved him to off air.
Oh my god, bring him back.
Oh my god, you
He-
petty bitch.
Stop.
let me say. I will reduce myself to 1 insult per minute if you let me stay.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
there.
bargaining.
Perfect.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, what I was trying to say is that this campaign was clearly done by people who I'm not even sure had a basic understanding of online gameplay, much less the intricacies of community management. Like how they had the two opposing teams in Counter-Strike talking to each other via voice chat. That's not a function in Counter-Strike Go.
Yeah,
you don't
I
talk
didn't
to the
even
enemy
realize
team.
that's a thing they did on the broadcast. Holy shit.
It's like Final Fantasy getting a 2-player mode back on the SNES days of movie features.
Yeah.
Like that level of bad understanding of gaming you saw in this. And then you had one of their like main, was she the host or just one of the main proponents of it, Zombie Unicorn?
Oh yeah,
Who-
she's one of the hosts, and doesn't she have like a history of Twitter bullying people?
Yeah, calling people faggots and cunts.
Really?
Yeah, and she was the
Yep.
host of an anti-bullying seminar. Wow.
Yeah, also previously a Playboy model, but I don't think we need to drudge up the ancient history of bullying or tits. What we need to do is focus on the
I
fact
don't
that
think there's anything
she-
wrong with being a Playboy model.
No, I'm just saying we're not going to focus on it today. I mean, you can probably focus on it and have one hand free, but tonight's story, we're going more for the feature of how after the show was done being presented, she showed the script and how it was a presentation to emulate a live program, but nothing was live. Then you started getting details about how the bully hunters and the supposed perpetrators of bullying on the show all operated under the same Steam ID. So
really
they couldn't
fast.
even get a real instance of bullying for their program. They had to stage everything.
Right. And also, like, one of the other big critiques I personally heard was, even if this whole thing was, like, thought out and whatever, how can you expect to set this service up across every single online game?
Yeah, it's like it can't just be exclusive to Counter-Strike. Like that's not.
Yeah.
If you're gonna try to make it fair to anyone, like you can't just have it for one gaming service.
Yeah, and, like, I would respect the idea that we're trying to make this, like, we're trying to stop bullying en masse. That's cool. Like, I'm not for bullying. But at the same time, the best thing to do is not do anything and ignore them.
Yeah.
And the methodology is flawed too because, oh, you killed the bully once in game and left a calling card. That doesn't change the behavior at
doesn't
all.
do anything.
It's like that one, I forget where it was, this one dad who hired a pair of professional gamers to hunt down and kill his son on a PvP server so he would hopefully quit the game.
What?
Instead, they just gave him
What?
entertainment.
What?
Yeah.
This was an
That's
old story from a
great.
couple years ago, and they failed at their job, and the son kept playing games and killing the hitman.
Like,
Oh, by the way,
surprise.
wait, really fast, guys. Chris, I'm getting an echo from you.
Who, me?
Hold on, let me change
No,
this.
other Chris.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got another
Are you guys getting the echo also?
What?
Are you guys getting his echo also,
No.
or is it just me?
no. Sounds
Oh,
weird, Chris.
weird.
I can't
Well,
hear
I-
anything on this end.
Interesting. Oh, I guess you're being rocking with the echo voice.
It wouldn't be a louder than podcast. With
I'll let you know if
Some
I
kind
hear
of
anything that stands out as a
From
possible
Chris's-
audio error.
Yeah.
Well, other Chris, we'll be taking the audio from your stream then.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anyway, so
Wait,
Okay.
before we move on from the technical difficulties,
Yeah.
do Chris and I sound like the same volume? Like-
yes.
Okay, because I'm sitting closer to the mic than he is, so
Yeah.
Chris is just talking louder.
is he? Does he sound louder?
No, I'm assuming that's why he sounds same.
Oh well, no,
Oh.
we're sitting next to the mic.
Okay.
Whatever.
They sound
You
the same.
answered my question.
Yeah. Anyway,
Alright, back to
the topic.
fun stuff. This guy reminds me of like the episode of South Park where they have to hire like the kids like Stan, Eric Cartman to kill that guy in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that situation.
They like brought that to life, but made it even like cringier.
Yeah, because this
Yeah.
time it was a commercial, number one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the fun part about the commercial is that SteelSeries was playing so innocent, and it's they had such a little part that they were approached about the campaign when it was their data all throughout the site's source code as the fabrication of it.
Wow.
So this
The
whole
guy
thing
remi-
got even worse then, because originally it was just a bad commercial.
Yeah.
Now it's like a ploy of charity under the guise of, or no, it's a commercial under the guise of charity.
It's kind of like the Pepsi commercial with like
Yeah, it's
the
like
whole
that.
rebellion.
What's the campaign right now? Axe the Pink Tax. How it's actually just a veiled advertisement for a wax center.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I haven't heard of this one.
Well, I might have heard something about it. Chris, can you like,
Elaborate.
yeah. give the
Long
details?
story short, they're perpetuating the myth of the pink tax by stating that women pay more for identical products, and then they're using that whole concept to build to what is ultimately a promotion for a waxing center. So that you can get a discount, but you still have to pay for their services.
Right.
Sounds
And
like a
it's
great
also
deal.
a service that exclusively women are going to pay for, so women are just paying for more shit that men aren't, which means they're helping their own problem as well. But that's a problem for another day.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole...
Also, I can actually hear that echo now.
Oh my god. I'm not going to get into that whole issue, but yeah, basically it's just the idea that, hey, this isn't anything more than a commercial. Like,
That's past our pay grade.
yeah. Yeah, we're...
Do you guys remember
Is
the-
someone getting paid here? Like, am I?
Yeah, our pay grade is 0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just checking.
But yeah, do you guys remember the Pepsi commercial where you're like, yeah, Pepsi will stop rebellions?
Oh, the
Or-
fucking Kendall Jenner one?
Wasn't that one of the
Yeah.
Kardashian scandals or some shit?
Was it?
Yeah, but at least that one didn't pretend to be anything but a commercial.
The last Kardashian scandal I cared about was O.J. Simpson's trial. I have to pretend with all the other stuff.
That's an old one.
Oldie but goodie. Old but gold. But no, I think the worst
Did you ever see
part...
pictures of the Kardashian family from during the O.J. trial? They look nothing like each other anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's amazing what plastic
You can
surgery
tell when they
can do.
discovered the silicon money.
But did you guys hear about, like, the best part, bar none, about all of this Bully Hunter stuff?
What?
Within, like, minutes or something like that. You have to check my exaggeration on that. But, like, pretty much right away, people were signing up for fake Bully Hunters accounts and bullying people.
My
That's
favorite part
great.
is actually that they didn't even own their own social media branding. Like, Bully Hunters was a completely different Twitter handle, and Twitter was their primary means of engagement for the campaign.
Fuck.
How?
So they were sending
So wait.
they were sending people to a different YouTuber
What?
via their Twitch handle, and they didn't actually own Bully Hunters. They made a username Bully Hunters, but not their Twitch handle.
So wait, did they actually try to hunt down people in the game, or was this just all a commercial?
There's not even a way to do it in CS:GO. I mean, you can't random fill people or like join a
I was
game
gonna
like
say,
that.
you can't just join
Yeah.
you know.
Like, you can do it in like casual or whatever it's called, but you can't do it in ranked play where the toxicity is the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
There's no way that, like, their claims are accurate, because there's no way to inject people into the game like that.
Yeah,
It's literally impossible. Like, that would kill
I
the
guess-
integrity of any ranked match.
oh, would it work if you're like you were friends with the guy playing?
No.
And even then, you still wouldn't be able to hear them or see the text chat from them because they're the enemy team.
Gotcha.
Like, unless they do like a /all for the text chat instead of talking to their team. And even then, I'm just trying to find some way to make sense of this.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
You know, if they can't fight for themselves, I'm not going to do it for them.
Agreed. It's just, the whole thing is really misguided. That's the bottom line.
I don't know. I think my like biggest gripe with it, other than the fact that it's like really fucking cringy, is that like I don't know. It like I don't want to get into like a discussion about like females in video games, but like people aren't like defenseless. Like you have the power to just leave a game or like block someone. You
Yeah,
know?
I would kind of argue that like this is even more demeaning that like you had to call somebody in to do like I wouldn't demean somebody personally for using the service, but it's kind of like teach a man to fish. Like, why not just
Set him.
encourage?
Yeah,
I would
build a man on fire, he'll be warm for a day. Set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. You know how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
I will straight up use this on like you guys. I'm not lying. Like if I was playing a game with you guys, I'd be like, well, they're being me, time to have some fun.
Yeah, like
Also, the only example they had during the campaign for bullying was voice chat, and mute buttons have been around for decades.
yeah, there's just
like, they functioned.
You can't necessarily do something about all of these fucking people.
But also, like, at the end of the day, I get their point. Like, they're trying to prevent it from happening at all.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, I mean, yeah, you can leave a game, you can block someone, you can mute someone, but why should it have to happen at all? But, like, there's no way to, like, prevent that. It's
You're not
like,
gonna piss off every bully by team killing him. It's just not gonna happen.
Now, the real question is, are they gonna get banned from Twitch?
Who?
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know, I mean, under the new Twitch guidelines, that Playboy model being their hostess could actually give them a grounds for disbarment.
Wait, she was a Playboy
Really?
model?
Yeah, you didn't hear him say that?
No. I'm
Yeah, back when she was
sorry,
about
I
100
missed
pounds
that.
Oh
lighter.
yeah, no, that's why I straight up said like, I mean, I'm not shaming her for being a Playboy model. There's nothing inherently wrong with
I'm
that.
saying it's against Twitch guidelines, and she's on Twitch.
But why is it against Twitch guidelines if she's not modeling nude?
Because you could file a case against somebody for lewd conduct, even if it's not posted on Twitch.
That's right. What a twist!
Oh my
We
God.
talked about this.
Oh, so
What?
like, if I did porn and then I also streamed video games, even though I wasn't streaming anything like lewd, it would.
Oh, that is messed up.
Is that
Precisely.
correct? Okay.
Yeah, remember
We
the whole
discussed
thing
this,
with
what,
like
months ago?
the what was it? The Magic the Gathering player.
Yeah, Jeremy from the Quartering, or Unsleeved Media, that's it.
Yeah. Chris, remind us of the details of that case, if you don't mind.
Just a long story short, since we did an episode on it a ways back. Basically, he was barred from all Wizards of the Coast events, the live in-person events, for comments he made not inside of a Magic the Gathering event, not in Magic the Gathering's online game client, but on his social media. So just his
So
affiliation
in
with
other
the
words,
brand
just-
at all was enough to get him taken off.
Yeah, just the
Hey,
fact
does
that they
that
didn't
mean-
like what he did outside of the event was enough to be like, we don't want you here, period.
Yeah, and
So
keep in
my
mind, he's
question
not an
is-
employee of Wizards of the Coast.
No,
he
he's
has
not.
no legal obligation. He's just a, like, what's the word I'm looking for here?
He's a patron.
Basically, yeah.
So wait, wait,
He's
you know
enthusiast
how like
press. That's the word I'm looking for. He's enthusiast press. He does not work for the company.
Right,
He
yeah,
is
yeah.
a consumer advocate.
yeah, it's okay. So like you know how like rappers like Drake are starting to go on Twitch and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, if someone's offended by like Drake's lyrics, does that mean you can ban Drake?
No, that's
Oh,
like
that's a-
too convoluted.
You might want to be careful with that one, because there was a case in Liverpool recently where a 19-year-old was being charged with being grossly offensive under the Communication Act for quoting Jay-Z lyrics.
Really?
Okay, well, but that's
Well,
different when you're
I
like
mean-
saying it there on your stream.
Well, guys,
I mean, granted, this was just a
businessman.
person saying it on Twitter, not a Twitch affiliate or anything like that. But still, when you're being charged for a hate crime just for quoting lyrics,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's tough, but the bottom line with the like going back to the bully hunters thing is like that is interesting that she could technically be banned from Twitch because they're like, oh, you were a Playboy model. We don't like that. Like, you don't represent Twitch's values.
Yeah, we're family friendly over here.
I actually found I was looking for Overwatch streams the other night and I saw a titty streamer. The,
Oh,
the
God.
temptation to report was like so strong. I wouldn't actually do that, but like,
you just stumbled onto them.
yeah, they were I was looking through like the ones with like the most views. She had like 500 viewers, I think, but those boobies were like very out.
Very in focus.
You can barely see her face. The camera's aimed down.
Guys, come on. The subtitle said boob cam. Like, it didn't
Come
actually. That was just a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to slander.
That's when I found Take On. They
Also, you're still a
streamed
Tara
live.
Babcock joke thing. Yeah, it was Tara Babcock. She literally had a boob cam for one of her videos.
Wait,
That's
really?
true.
Really?
Yeah, no, she's awesome though. She's like actually self-aware about it.
Did you see the video about that one streamer girl who had like a guy donate, what was it, like something crazy like 5,000 to her?
Oh, yeah, there's like this streamer, we could do this next episode, he like all he does, I don't know where he gets his money from, but all he does is donate to random streamers, but he'll donate like thousands at a time.
Yeah.
Do those charges stand, or do they get taken back?
I don't know. We could look into it though.
A topic for next time.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, you can't stop bullying that easily. It's a slow process that you just need to... I still think the best course of action...
I think it's more of a society thing.
Well, right? Yeah, and that's why I think the best course of action is to educate people on how to deal with their own bullies. Because, let's face it, it's going to happen. I don't know.
This is true. No, I agree. Like, with nowadays, I think it's better just to learn how to, like, not pay attention to them.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like it's the easiest way to get around the whole situation.
Yeah, there's
unless they're like a stalker, then that's a different issue.
Well,
but,
yeah,
like,
but then that's not bullying, that's stalking. I mean, bullying can, like, I'm not saying the two are unrelated, but, like, when you have somebody who's just being a fucking dick to you in-game...
Like in League.
It's gonna happen no matter where you are, and that's... I mean, I'll admit that, like, it's part of the reason I avoid playing cooperative games with strangers, but what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, it's life. There's people who suck and there's people who don't suck. It's gonna happen. Yep. There's no reason to just be like, oh, this is a travesty we can sell fucking headsets with.
Yeah. I mean, even in games where there are no competitive elements, it's all cooperative stuff like Warframe or Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
People are still going to dick each other over.
Yeah. And
I would do that
not
to my
even
friends
just
all
from
the time.
losing, there's people who are going to ruin your fun because it's fun for them to ruin your fun.
Oh yeah, that's always so fun. I mean, like, I would never do that, but like...
Oh yeah, Eric?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey Chris, you want to play Risk of Rain?
Nope. Not with you, you son of a bitch.
Alright, let's move on.
Yeah, before I fucking rip Eric's head off.
Oh, that's bullying?
So, A Way Out. I'm pleasantly surprised. There's problems with the game. And not, like, horrible ones, but I'm not going to get into spoiler territory. The bottom line is it's a solid game. And, EA has shown a weird amount of respect for its audience by the way they marketed the game was that basically if you buy a copy of it, you can have a friend install the demo and they can play the entire game with you without purchasing.
Yeah, either by their own benevolence or their willful ignorance, what else to call it. Well, they're actually letting this be a good game.
Don't forget, as far as I know, they were just the publishers, and the devs were a relatively independent team, I think. But I would have to do my homework more on that, I'll admit. But the bottom line is still EA could have ruined it somehow, and I think this is an interesting way to market a game. I've seen it once before. Have you guys heard of that game? Oh, it has the word ship in it. Basically, every time someone buys a copy of the game, Steam gifts a copy of it to, like, all their friends.
Huh.
It's very weird. Not in, like, a creepy, like, why does this in my inbox way, but, like, it's a multiplayer game, and I remember getting it, like, in my inbox, and I'm like, why do I have this game? And I looked into it, and it turns out, when What?
I can't remember if it was one of the Zelda games or if it was one of the Mario games, but Nintendo did that on 3DS as well, where only one person needed to own a copy of the game and everybody got to play it.
Yeah.
Well, the DS had that feature, download play.
Yeah. TBT.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Mario Kart guy, but I think it might have been that one.
Mario Kart was one of them. You could only use, like, Shy Guy, but... Oh, and you could only vote on certain tracks, but the person who owned the game could pick whatever track, and, you could...
So, you're getting basically a Mario Kart game. One person pays for 8 people.
Well, and it's a great, like, the way Mario Kart did it was really nice because, it didn't feel like they were restricting a ton of the game. Like, you couldn't build, like, with all the cart parts that the cart owners could. You couldn't build, or you couldn't choose all the characters, like you couldn't pick all the stages, but you could definitely play enough of it to be like, oh hey, like I brought my DS, does anybody want to play Mario Kart? Oh, I don't have it. Well, you can still play it, and it's like you don't feel left out, you don't feel like you're playing a lesser game, and it still urges you to buy the full game.
Also, by the way, I like to say I always choose Shy Guy as my character, so
it works out.
Yeah.
It is strange that Nintendo would be one of the leaders for free-to-play games, or like close enough, a handheld approximation of a free-to-play game,
right? With
that kind of download generosity, considering they're so heavy in the console market, and also Nintendo's other stinginess with things on the eShop. It's like, we're gonna recharge you for the ROMs that we are caught downloading from pirated copies, but we're also gonna let you have 8 people play 1 copy of Mario Kart.
Yo ho.
Did you see that shit where somebody data mined the ROMs that were being sold on the eShop and they found out it wasn't the official Nintendo copy?
What? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was like something that was found spoofed in pirated ROMs online, so they had to download their own game because they didn't rip it directly from the cart or the original source code.
That's beautiful.
I don't remember which game it was.
That makes me happy to hear.
I will link you the article after this if I can find it again.
Please do. That's fucking wild.
That is wild. It makes me happy on the inside.
So yeah, you're paying for a pirated thing that's being resold from the people that pirated it from themselves.
That's the definition of pathetic.
But enough throwing Nintendo under the bus while I'm praising them. Let's get back to A Way Out.
Yeah. No. And
by the way, I know we said no spoilers about the game, but the game has like the best bromance in gaming history.
Kind of. I don't know. I think that some of the interactions were kind of bland. But they did a very good job as a whole with the product. I think it's a good game. And interestingly enough, the next point we were about to make, it outsold their lifetime expectations at launch.
Which is insane.
Yeah, for a game that you don't need to buy to play it. Like...
How, though?
Yeah.
Basically, EA is continuing to underestimate the single-player market. Go.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And,
Or, no, I should clarify, because this isn't necessarily a single-player game. It's almost mandatory co-op.
Yeah.
They're underestimating the power of narratively driven, linear games, whereas they want to be pushing the multiplayer heavy focus and the non-linear open-world focus nowadays.
Right, but I would still put this in, like, the same camp as a single-player, like, story-driven game, specifically because even though you're playing it with a friend, it's all about the story and minor puzzle solving. It's not about...
And the way they do the split screen all throughout, it is, weirdly enough, kind of single player. Just the way that it focuses on both people as much as it would a single player game, and they just happen to cross over. Like people saying Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover in all time. The Fuck the Oscars guy said, hold my beer.
Yeah. I don't know, like, it's a hard game to quantify, like, as far as labeling it, in my opinion. But, either way, like, it's a narrative game that is very intimate, requires you're playing with somebody that you can spend, like, a good number of hours with and paying attention to a story with. You kind of have to play it with somebody that you wouldn't, like, have a lobby system for this game. You have to play this with somebody that you could watch, like, a couple movies with or a season of a show with.
Yeah.
And, like, pay attention to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's really awesome, though. Like, I'm so, like, blown away at, like, the concept of, I mean, the game itself, let alone, like, the game sharing aspect of it is, like, really good.
The game sharing is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And I guess it kind of makes sense, though, because I just realized it's not all that different than saying, hey, like, I bought the new Halo game. Do you want to play through the campaign at my house? That person might never buy the game. They might just go over and play through the campaign and have their fun with their friend, and that's it. It's the same concept here. Just because you're playing it with your friend doesn't mean that, like, nobody else is going to buy the game.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to blame this trend on laziness, I think it is the manufacturers trying to omit split-screen couch gaming just so they can focus on the online stuff. It's the same reason that you have basically no compression going into games anymore, and you have these massively bloated download sizes of like 90 plus gigabytes for the last Forza game. And I think what was the last Call of Duty, or the one before World War II? I think is Infinite Warfare. If you got that plus the Modern Warfare remastered, that's over 100 gigabytes.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So yeah, it's the same tech, or the same reasoning behind the tech, I suppose, that's going into this, where people don't want to optimize for the additional features if they can just pawn it off to a simpler task. The same reason that we have these giant game sizes is the same reason we don't have couch co-op anymore. They want to sell more copies and do less work.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of better game practices, do you think what was the name of the new EA game coming out that looks really good? It's called Anthem.
Yeah.
Do you think Anthem's gonna have like trashy tactics in it?
I'm
Or
really
you
not
think
sure
they're-
because here's the thing. They acted like they learned their lesson with Battlefront, and then they didn't. But they
The
did.
microtransactions are alive again, and the exorbitant grind is predictable.
But at the same time, they kind of learned that people aren't a fan of that kind of shit. So I don't
Well, it's
know
because
if
they lost a lot of money?
What?
Like they lost a lot of money off of that, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I think a million at least.
Wait, what's
like
the?
they-
I don't know if this was speculation or confirmed, but didn't Disney like officially say that EA isn't doing like Star Wars games anymore?
I didn't hear that.
I did not hear
They
that.
said they were looking into additional studios to make games in the Star Wars franchise, which would nullify EA's exclusivity deal.
Yes, that was it. So I mean, that's a big deal.
That's like a lot of money just going down the drain now.
Yeah.
It also means we might get a single-player narrative game since they canceled Star Wars 1313 and killed Visceral.
I'm looking forward to that. Like I've been binging. I've been wanting one since Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
You know, the single player one, not the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they give up on Tor and maybe EA loses their exclusivity, we might get a single-player Star Wars game again.
Bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
And hopefully it has a better campaign than Battlefront 2 because that single-player was trash.
I heard it was like very bare bones.
The story was pitiful. It's like, it's supposed to be an Empire story. That's how they market it. It's an Empire story. It doesn't even last for the first act. Like, you automatically go turncoat.
Are you serious?
And you get terrible representation. Yeah. You get the lady from Sleepy Hollow or whatever her name is, playing the Imperial ace pilot, and she's automatically detained and has to escape within the first act. And then it's a rebellion story, and you play as, like, Han and Leia and Luke and Lando and all the classics.
So
Who's
Nice.
not
getting
an
a Facebook
Empire
message?
story.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Who's getting a Facebook message?
It was actually a text message, and since I have all Apple, I forgot to do not disturb my computer or my iPad
Wow.
or my watch.
Yeah, I
It's
turned
the
off my
worst
phone and unplugged the landline before I started, so...
When I get a call, it's like my entire room blows up with rings.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And also that line program you made me install is so loud.
You can turn
Oh, yeah, it is very
notifications
loud.
off.
Yeah.
No, don't.
I think you can change the tone also.
That makes
Yeah, I should
me
do that.
happy on the inside knowing that Chris is getting disturbed by this when he plays Monster Hunter.
Oh my God.
You can try disturbing me during the Kolve Taroth raids. It's not going to work.
Well, but now we know we can call Eric and start like a war zone in his bedroom.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
No, we need to find a noise that specifically annoys his cat. That will get his attention.
Oh, it's Siri. He hates Siri.
Really?
Oh my God. Siri.
Yeah,
Siri.
every
Hello, Siri. Hello, Siri.
He's not in here.
I'm
Shit.
requesting a video of that.
Like every time I say, "Hey Siri," and Siri's like, if there's a beep, it says, "Hello, Eric." He starts like freaking
Oh
out.
my god.
It's like, who's here? Who's talking to me?
Get out of my house, etc.
Yes, pretty much.
Your cat is the reason the robot overlords are going to overthrow you. I'm just saying.
No, Cat will overthrow them. Sorry, I mean Max. His name.
Only if they have laser pointers.
Only if they have laser pointers.
Oh, they're robots. They might have it built in.
If they don't, they're slacking.
True.
Dumb robots.
Wait, are we being invaded by robot sharks? Because those have them on their heads mandatory.
Freaking lasers on their head. By the way, speaking of that,
Troyer.
I recently rewatched
Oh,
Austin Powers,
Mhm.
and it did not age well.
No.
What?
Insane.
It didn't age well, but like it has still it retains its nostalgia.
Oh well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's like unless like if you didn't watch it back in like then I don't think you're gonna get into the series.
Yeah.
One of those movies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say Michael Myers is as big a travesty as the Halloween version, but it just amused me that that actor has the same name as a Halloween supervillain.
Yeah.
Really bizarre.
A little uncomfortable, but really funny. When I like was a kid and didn't know like what the Halloween series was, I was like, wait, Michael Myers. I put the 2 and 2 together, but it was weird. I didn't like it.
I don't like it.
Anyway, tangents and dead dwarves aside, what were we talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, what were we talking?
We're talking about A Way Out.
Oh, you can get a way out of this conversation? Dude.
Eric is now banned from the show for the 80th time.
He did it before me! Yay!
Give it up for Eric, the worst person
Thank
on the
you.
show.
You're welcome. I saved you, Chris. Well,
If you
anyway,
wait for a rendition of We Are the Champions, it's not happening.
No, please, that's like one of Queen's 2 worst songs.
what are you actually out of your mind?
Yeah, no,
Are you out of your mind?
yeah, like they have like 14 amazing studio albums, and you're gonna pick the fucking 2 most horrid songs in the world to make popular?
You are actually out of your mind.
You're gonna tell me that We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions are better songs than Brighton Rock?
Radio
Yes.
Knockoff, No One Lives Forever.
No,
The Show Must
wait,
Go On.
Chris. Did you hear the way Eric said that? He's never heard Brighton Rock.
I was throwing Eric under the bus, but if you want, I can do it more deliberately.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to throw you guys out here with my mind bullets.
It doesn't matter where you move us because we're recording the audio, so.
Yeah.
And they don't have the echo problem, so their audio is going to be immortalized.
Yeah.
It's weird that you don't have the echo problem.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird that you do, Eric.
So does Chris.
Yeah, but I'm not shaming Chris.
I'm gonna shame all of you.
You're far too generous without shaming me.
No, you're not making a pun yet. I'll shame you later when you do.
Alright, let's move on to our
Oh,
next
it's,
subject.
yeah, that's our next topic.
I don't remember what it is.
Honorary shout out to God of War, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
God of War has been like
Wait,
killing it.
What? Don't forget about Yakuza.
True. Never.
Yeah, we have
forget
2
about
Dads of War this week.
There's 2 dads in the running.
Papas?
Do you guys want to elaborate, please?
What?
No, Eric sounds confused, and I don't know enough to fucking.
I don't know why you
I'll
call
talk about
Yakuza
Beardos.
dads.
You guys can talk about, what's his name, Kazuya.
Like, I don't know why you're calling them dads, but like,
See-
I know why God of War's dad.
There's a dad in
But
Yakuza that Pete was going on about
Yeah,
how
yeah.
he's the better dad out of the 2.
Basically, in
Oh.
the new Yakuza game, from what my friend has told me, you're basically like, here, hold my kid while I kick the shit out of somebody for my kid.
Yep, that seems about right.
Yeah, the Yakuza game's fucking.
Kratos, on the other hand, doesn't have anyone hold his kid. His kid just, like, runs out to the sidelines like Ellie in The Last of Us and starts pelting enemies with arrows for you.
Which is pretty equally badass.
What a good kid.
God, Last of Us
He's
is
a
such
good
an overrated game.
I actually never played it.
You're not
The
missing
PS3
much.
version is garbage. Go for the PS4 version or just forget it.
Okay,
The
I'll forget
PS4
about
version
it.
actually has a functioning frame rate. Not
I
a
only care
good,
about-
but functional.
I mean, I
I'm
played
not
it
built-
before the fucking useless remaster came out, and I thought it was fine. It was just, like, not that good of a game.
the aiming is so jank with the unsteady frame rate though on the PS3. Even if you have like a brand new system,
Yeah.
like the only good thing about the remaster was not the prettifying of the graphics, but just the smoothing out of the like gameplay.
I mean,
It felt like you were
guess.
less aiming in an Uncharted game in an actual good shooter.
I still don't think it needed that, though. Like, it didn't need a remaster.
No, not at all. I got
could've
mine free with my
spent-
PS4.
They could have spent that time and money remastering something that, like, didn't come out a year ago.
Especially considering, let's face it, they came out with fucking Crash Bandicoot remastered, and that was Naughty Dog. So, you could have been spending more time on that and less time remastering a game that just came out.
No, they had to build the Crash Bandicoot section in Uncharted 4.
Wait, what?
Did you play Uncharted 4?
No, I've never played Uncharted. I intend
Basically, there's
to, I
two
can't-
sequences in there. There's 2 sequences in that game. One is where Nathan Drake is playing Elena's old PlayStation, and she has a copy of Crash Bandicoot, and he fails the level because they're like missing a part of it. But he actually You as the player plays Nathan Drake playing Crash Bandicoot 1.
Oh my god,
That's incredible.
that's great.
And then in like
That's
the epilogue or the last act, whatever you call it, you actually play as an unknown character as Crash Bandicoot. You play as Crash. How am I trying to phrase this? You play Crash Bandicoot as an unknown player for their reveal, and you do better than Nathan Drake to reveal that character.
That's awesome, and I don't
okay.
blame you. That sounds like a hard thing to describe without knowing it. Like,
Oh, this actually reminds me of something else I wanted to bring up. The Spyro trilogy thing.
Coming back.
That, and the patch that they're putting into Crash Bandicoot for the release.
oh yeah,
'Cause I don't know where it is. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you guys know about the code in I think it's I'm very rusty because I owned all the games as a kid, so I never needed to do this. But there's a way you can put like a code into Crash Bandicoot to play a Spyro demo, and they're patching that into the remasters of Crash.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I don't know if they're gonna remaster the demo or put the original demo in.
I
But
don't know.
either way,
I would actually. I think they should leave it as is if they can properly do
Just
that.
put the original demo in.
Yeah.
yeah,
Put the original demo and coming in, and then the actual year, and it's like, oh fuck, we need a DeLorean.
Yeah.
yeah. But no, I think that's
I
a
would love
really
that.
cute thing to do. Like, and it shows that they're paying attention to the game, even though it's already released and stuff. So, good on them.
Hey,
Yes.
really fast, could you look at my stream and tell me what you think about this mountain?
I cannot because I'm fighting Metal Man. Taylor,
You do
can
have to
load
kill
that on
Metal
your
Man?
phone?
I'll be your amateur geographer, fine.
Okay.
Great.
And then we
Thank
can
you, amateur
switch
geographer.
topics.
So yeah, what is the next topic anyway?
The next topic is one that I'm very upset about, actually. So, you guys know my
Great.
stance on mobile games, right?
They're the best.
Eric is now booted
Around.
from the show for the 81st time.
Well, what's everyone's opinion on?
Yeah, let's go around the table here real quick. My personal opinion is that mobile is a cute platform for games, but I think it's very underwhelming, and not enough games make use of a touchscreen environment in a good way.
I'm just a little confused going forward. Are we talking mobile games or games of service?
Well, okay,
Mobile.
we can talk both, because what I was going to say after that is my other problem with the mobile gaming environment is that many of them are loot box driven or games as a service driven, which means you're not paying for a game, getting a game, and then you get to play the game. It's like you're at the whim of how long the devs decide to keep the game up.
I agree with that, and in addition to that, you know, there's lots of games like there's the thing that Nintendo did, the Miitomo game,
Yeah.
and like it's cute, but if all of your friends stop using it, it's literally
There's no content.
it's useless.
Yeah.
Now, the Animal Crossing mobile game that's like still pretty new, it's still getting lots of updates and it seems to still be pretty popular, but you know, Animal Crossing is one of my favorite series of all time, so of course I had to try it. I adore it, but I also adore it because if everyone on planet Earth stopped playing it, it's still like 90% functional without having like interaction with other players.
So like how I feel about mobile is one, I kind of just use it to learn different languages now with like Duolingo.
Right.
When I did play it for games, I used to use it for pretty much purely Hearthstone. And now that I'm trying to look for like a real game on there, it's like really hard because like a long time ago there used to be a game called Tap Tap, where it was pretty much Guitar Hero but on your iPhone.
Yeah, I know
And
that
like
game.
they don't have it anymore, really. They have like kind of like a janky version that's like bootleg of it. And I
It's
don't
like
want to play
That's
that.
what I mean, is that like it's hard to like go back and play games that you liked if they're not offered on the store anymore or something like that. And that's what bothers me a lot about games as a service in general. Like, okay, I have a ton of games, like a lot of fucking games purchased on the 360, and I'm worried what's going to happen when they start shutting that storefront down. You know, what am I going to do? How am I going to get my games? I paid for them. This isn't even...
Is that-
real quick. Puzzle Fighter, the thing we're talking about here is that Capcom is shutting down the new Puzzle Fighter game for mobile, and the stores, like the loot box store and shit like that, that's gonna go under this week, I believe. And then in June, I think the servers are shutting down. And they have no plans to release the game offline. So basically, if you put money into this game, it's just gone. You don't get to play it with friends, you don't get to play like a single player mode, nothing. And I don't expect everything in life to be like, oh, you know, this'll always work. You can pay for a fucking console, and that doesn't mean that, well, it's gonna work forever and ever and ever. But, you know, people find ways to repair them and things like that. With a game, it's software. It's never going anywhere. So, like, to me,
really,
for something that doesn't have a physical product that can break, it's ridiculous to tell me that, oh, well, you're not legally allowed to back it up anywhere, you know, so I'm technically a pirate if I, like, download it from somewhere. But also, it's going away forever and you'll never be able to download it again.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Console on the Wii, like the original Wii,
Yeah.
like Castlevania or game
Eric,
that
you're
when you
cutting
went to
out.
the Wii. Oh,
Okay,
well.
start that again.
So was this an issue with the Virtual Console on the Wii?
Oh,
where
yeah,
if you
no, they
bought-
recently did, like, have an issue with that, yeah.
Where like if you bought a bunch of games on the Wii, like
They shut down the
Castlevania,
Wii shop,
Super
yeah.
Castlevania, and then if you went to the Wii U, you would not have your games. And I'm assuming if you go to the Switch, you won't have your games still.
Yep.
Yeah, the eShop does not carry over across all platforms.
And there
At least
are,
on
it's not just
Nintendo.
Virtual Console stuff, there were some games on WiiWare that were exclusive. So,
Yeah, so
this bears a really important question of what happens, like, when I buy a game. And as far as I know,
makes me not want to buy it.
I know, exactly. And this came up the other day in regards to Steam. I heard somewhere, and I again, can't verify it, I'll always be honest about that, but I heard there's a clause in, like, the Steam terms of service, where if Steam ever goes under, that the games will be released DRM free, and you will always have access to download them.
Which is, like, a massive blessing.
Yeah!
Praise be to Gaben.
Yeah, wow.
It's shit like that that makes them, like, so trusted. Stop!
Sorry.
It's shit like that. She was, like, kicking me.
No, I wasn't.
But no, it's stuff like that that makes them, you know, trusted, because you say, like, you know, there's been the criticism that, like, oh, well, Steam is DRM. And yeah, that's technically true, but when they've guaranteed legally that, hey, we're not going to screw you out of your games if we ever go under, you're basically buying them DRM free.
Yep, there's only two things I don't trust Steam for, Australian lawsuits and Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Or Team Fortress 3, or any game that comes with a 3.
And even at that point, you're saying Valve can't count to 3. It's nothing to do with Steam.
Yep. It's just the company that owns it.
Yeah, Valve also was denied their further appeals on a lawsuit in Australia recently. Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
No.
This was a 2014 suit before they instituted their new refund policy about how the Australian, I forget what they call it, the Economics Board, was trying to sue Steam because they were refusing to implement a refund function, which is mandatory in all of their service providers.
Oh.
And because they couldn't assess the damages based on how many people were joining Steam during that period before the refund policy was in place, Steam appealed it once, and most recently they've been shut down from further appeals, so they're going to have to pay a massive fine to the Australian courts.
Ho ho ho.
That sucks. But it's
Bad day
fair.
to be Steam. Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
But to return to the main topic, we were talking about the mobile games and what happens when they are delisted and no longer supported.
right,
If
it's
it's
that
okay with you
same
guys,
maybe like, you...
Also,
these,
never for mobile games, big deal whenever like a new iPhone or a new Android comes out, because like they have to readjust screen sizes for all that nonsense.
Oh yeah, but like, I don't know, at least give people the opportunity. I mean, this is the old argument with public domain, right? Give people the opportunity to take old and make it new again. And I'm not turning this into a discussion on copyright law by any means. But what I'm saying is that, like, at a certain point, like, enthusiasts can do shit. They can do a lot of shit. Have I mentioned on the show before about, that you can play Virtual On online again on the Saturn?
No.
Yeah, Saturn and Dreamcast, I think both of them, they figured out how to use modern internet on those consoles. Like,
Pretty incredible.
That's cool.
yeah, the Saturn's like a 20-year-old console, and it's on FiOS now. Like, it's a thing. So, you know, enthusiasts find ways to keep things alive that they love and that they paid good money for. So, you know, when you tell me something like, oh, that game you downloaded, you know, that you paid like $20 for on the Xbox 360 arcade, you don't get to play it anymore. Like, no, that's not an answer. And, you know, even though Puzzle Fighter is a free game, a lot of people put a lot of money into it to get characters.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, when you buy a physical game, you know, like with the Dreamcast, like even like when the Dreamcast died, you could still play your games, like, and now it's been revitalized.
Yeah.
You know, I think I have a couple of examples for digital-only games, but they're for console, not for mobile or PC. Do you guys want to hear them anyway?
Yeah, no. This is still, I think Puzzle Fighter is just a good impetus for this whole discussion.
Okay, so the most recent one I can think of, and it was actually not console exclusive, I don't think it was Paragon, but my experience with it is on the PS4.
Okay.
Paragon, after it was canceled, and I'm not sure if support is over yet, but they already announced that they were refunding all people who made in-game purchases because they were shutting down the game to increase further support on other Epic Games titles like Fortnite.
Oh.
So every transaction made in that game has been refunded, and also all the paid content has been made freely accessible to all players until the game is shut down.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
That's fucking awesome.
That's a good way to do
Wait,
it.
was Paragon the fucking MOBA?
Yeah, it was the MOBA from Epic Games.
Man, that one was actually kind of fun to play casually.
Is that the one Toll Biscuit was really into?
Maybe? I don't remember. It was really cool. It was like a third-person shooter MOBA. It's I know that sounds kind of like weird to describe it as, but it's like an over-the-shoulder third person, but like with cooldowns and, you know, like mob enemies and stuff. And you have
like imagine Battleborn with personality and quality standards.
Well, yeah.
There was a game called Epic Fight Night, Epic Friday Fight Night. that did
Monday
that.
Night Combat?
Yeah, that was a good game.
Friday.
It was a day of the week.
Very wrong day of the week. Sorry.
So Friday's a better day than Monday, so
Yeah, that's fair.
stands to believe.
Monday Night Combat was a weird game, though, because I bought that on 360, and it was just a game that you bought and played, and then they turned it into a loot box game.
I have never played this. I don't know anything about it.
It was a really fun team shooter. It was, like, really fun. But
It was kind of like had like a bunch of MOBA elements in it. Though.
I would be down to try it again. I think it's on Steam.
I believe it is. The service might be dead.
But
Dead
again,
service.
this is one of the reasons I'm not preaching against console at all. But one of the things I do love about PC gaming is, you know, if we wanted to and had the know-how, we could revitalize the game servers and play.
100%. Yeah.
You know, that we love and not have to give it up.
Which would be lovely.
Yeah, and so like I don't know, I have a huge problem with the idea that like you could buy a game and then be told, "Oh yeah, you can't play this anymore," because it's
which is an
digital
excellent
and we're not
rebuttal to
offering
the
it. What?
an excellent rebuttal to the next example I was going to go with, which is the PlayStation way of delisting items when it's Sony and not just I guess some cooperation from the companies that are making the games, but mostly just Sony delisting things. My two examples from Sony delisting games that I cared about on PSN would probably be Scott Pilgrim and PT.
Oh, wait,
PT, I think we really have to...
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim's gone.
Oh.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I got it as a PS Plus exclusive, so if I ever let my subscription lapse, there's no way I can re-download or play it.
That blows.
And
Yeah, that's fucking awful.
And the other one,
Incentives.
PT, that's more Konami than it is Sony. However, the fact is, even if you downloaded it and you have it, let's say a system error and you need to redo your hard drive, there's no way for you to
Yeah.
re-download it unless you know the date you download it and to go back through all of your transactions.
But that's even
There's no
still,
like store page or anything like
that's
that.
still, it's even more unfair because, like, if you're gonna take it away from everyone. Don't, like, let, you know, like, I have it on my console still. Don't, like, let me keep it, and then, like, if someone's console fails and they lose all their stuff, then, like, they don't get to keep it even though they had it. Like, it's just
I mean, I don't believe in taking it away from anybody. Like,
no,
it's
but-
a thing you released. Like, it's
Yeah.
now not in your hands completely.
It's like, here's
No,
this,
I agree.
It's this one stupid little example that I have on the top of my head that it just annoys me unreasonably. In Tekken 6 for the PS3, there was a set of free DLC for a cardboard armor set. Like, it was free, it was a very small download. I'm not even sure if it was a download or just an unlock key,
yeah.
but they delisted it from the store.
Why?
They
Really?
didn't delist Tekken 6, but they delisted the free DLC.
Why?
No reason given.
That makes no sense.
That's stupid.
Yep.
I'm a little torn because I get it. If you sold a game on disc and you decided to pull it from shelves, that's it. You can't buy it anymore. So I get that that still exists, and what happens if your copy breaks? You're out of luck. But, like, I don't know. I think preservation should be more encouraged in that regard then. Like, you don't have to put in the money as a company to keep printing discs or server space or whatever. But at the same time, once you delist it for sale, we should be allowed to, like, okay, you took it off of the market. We should be allowed to fucking share it now.
You know, here's this weird thing that just, even with the physical games, the industry is not good at actually delisting things in a logically consistent manner. Like, there was a game, what was it, 6 years ago? 7 years ago, damn. X-Men Destiny. It was done by the developer Silicon Knights.
Yeah.
And it had to be pulled from stores because it was infringing on the property or, like, the code of other developers. I don't remember the exact case, it's been a long time. But the fact is, you can still walk into any GameStop in the United States and purchase a copy of that right off the shelves as pre-owned. It's been delisted. It has to be recalled. A formal recall went out from a court, and it's still easily accessible for purchase.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't go around to
Meanwhile-
GameStops and say, hey, you're not allowed to sell this. It's like, whatever.
Huh.
Oh my god, this is very, very unrelated.
Well, you do that every show, so...
I'll pretend to be surprised. Keep
fire.
going.
What?
Chris said, I'll pretend to be surprised. Let's keep going.
George H.W. Bush is hospitalized.
Why do you
Oh.
always bring up politics during this show?
It's not. It's just an interesting... His wife just died. I don't know.
Let's talk about Syria.
Let's talk about the Iran deal.
What?
Eric, I'm
No,
gonna
I-
smack you through the monitor.
Recently, Saudi Arabia was given a position on the UN Women's Council.
Anyway... I'm about to replace all three of you with fucking, like, waifu pillows.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
It might be an upgrade on my end, I'm not gonna lie.
Can you replace me with, like, the giant snake one?
Oh, the Monster Musume one that costs, like, $10,000?
Yeah, replace me with that one. Hey, like, if you're
Done.
gonna replace me with something good.
Eric, you can't beat the scale, Edie Dakamaru.
Dakamaru?
What?
Why the fuck do I know the formal name for those goddamn
You
pillows?
don't. It's Dakimakura.
Orochimaru.
Yes.
Opie, what are we talking about?
Hey, at least you said boobies,
What?
right?
I'm saying Naruto.
Ew.
Yeah, so now that I'm done making a boo of myself in Japanese, do we have a topic?
One boob, you're only one. Are you the third boob from Total Recall?
He can afford the extra one from buying the snake pillow.
Oh yeah, he had to sell his one boob.
Yep.
But
You
yeah,
only need one in the realm of these new mouse pads.
no man, the cleavage is where your wrist rests. No good? No.
You say that, but I have...
Yeah, like nobody, like,
Or the butt.
or the butt.
But actually, yes.
Oh, now I know how I fucked up that language. I mixed up Iridakimasu and Dakimakura.
Oh,
God.
yeah, let's eat. Hell
Excuse me,
yeah.
what is that?
Itadakimasu means let's eat.
Oh.
Well, hey, I mean, if you're talking about body pillows or KFC, it's all coming down to Opie anyway, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, but he's right this time. This is the first time I don't want to punch Chris in the mouth.
And on this day, Louder Than Gaming received a grim reminder.
What is that grim reminder?
That sometimes I am not the worst person on this show.
No. The true worst person on this show is either me or Eric.
Yep.
Depending on if you hate my temper or Eric more.
Or if you hate your puns, Chris.
True.
It's a free-for-all.
Taylor's the only, like...
Yeah, there's like the only safe one.
Yeah, the only safe one.
she's just waiting to get us with something good.
Did you hear that cough? God.
Mike Wazowski.
You know, it occurs to me she's also the only one of us not bullied by trees.
Yeah.
What?
No, a tree fell on her house during that last storm, remember?
Okay, the Ents are equal opportunity oppressors. We don't have to worry about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it missed my house by about a foot, so...
Tree Sensei?
Onegai
By the way, while we're being nerds, the new season of My Hero Academia came out.
Wait,
and
real quick, Eric. You said while we're being nerds on a podcast about video games, anime, movies, music. We're already fucking nerds all the time.
Yeah, we're fucking nerds.
Well, okay, while we're being weeaboos, let's go deeper into the tree and talk about the new season of My Hero Academia. I just want to talk about the...
Yeah, none of us have watched it, Eric.
Continue, fellow Nihongophile.
You'll all understand this, because the first episode of season 3 that came out a year after, I think it was a year, was a recap episode of the last 2 seasons. And
Get
I like to
wrecked,
say,
nerd.
I hate that. Oh my god.
They pulled an Evangelion on you. They released a fucking movie, and it's just kidding. Here's a recap with a deleted scene or 2.
Oh, dude, I was so salty. That's all I have to say. That I hate that in shows.
You know, you should have skipped and gone for the comics since My Hero Magadami comic.
What?
I shared it on the page, you remember.
Oh, the Trump one, yes.
Yeah, with Wall Knight and Deku Sean Pence or whatever his name is.
Oh god.
Mike Pence.
With his pet rabbit.
You know, I'm not going to pretend I know who the vice president is right now. Trump is his own administration.
Yep.
Anyway,
Politics?
See, Taylor's not the only one who can make this
the
political.
one fucking rule is we don't bring up politics to keep it safe.
What about the show safe?
Not bringing up politics.
Let's go back to waifu pillows.
You Falmore apologist or Legion bastard.
Okay,
By the way,
that one's acceptable. That's
When you
fantasy
guys played
politics.
Fallout, we guys played Fallout 4. Did you go with Legion?
I didn't play 4, actually. I watched some of 4. I watched a friend play it. He brought his PS4.
Oh, sorry. I mean New Vegas. New Vegas.
Oh. I'm playing through that with
Okay,
a
that
friend
was
right now, and we're kind of just doing whatever. We're not quite to the faction war
Okay.
yet.
I will
only
say
went-
New Vegas is my favorite of all the Fallouts.
Which one
I only
do you
went
think?
heavy on the Legion's. I only went heavy on the Legion side once, and I was playing as a chick at the time, and I didn't realize that the Legion actually prohibited females from entering the arena, so I dicked myself out of extra functions.
Oh, that sucks. We
so I got
actually right now we're doing the Brotherhood quests.
I like the Brotherhood seal.
The Brotherhood's cool. Also
We're talking
we're
4 in
female,
New Vegas.
so go Brotherhood, equal opportunity.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Power Armor.
Yeah. Metal pants, bro.
Otherwise known as the Veronica
Yes.
story from New Vegas.
But
Yes.
we're doing we're playing with some mods and stuff. Our moon is pink guy.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
Do you have anything from the Creation Club in there, or is it all proper mods?
I'm honestly not sure what he downloaded. Because he set it all up. He has one of the Intel NUCs. And he brought it over with like all the stuff installed already, so I haven't messed with anything on my PC, but I own the games. So I gotta mess with it at some point. But he has My Mod Manager or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, Nexus.
Yeah, one of those programs.
Oh, you know, I just thought of this. Can we send a bully hunter to Kaisar's League?
Oh my god!
To what?
I heard enough of it. There's a guy in Fallout that's basically like, he's supposed to be Julius Caesar.
Oh.
And like,
But
he's got like this whole, like, he mounts people on pikes outside of his fucking hideout. And Chris suggested sending bully hunters over there.
that would be a great TV show.
But we have an entire half of a continent covered in Roman legionaries, irradiated post-apocalypse. Let's send a bunch of pro gamers after him.
Can you imagine?
Leave a calling card in his CS:GO chat.
We'll remake Punk'd as like our own new show.
Oh my god, dude! I couldn't believe the words came out of my mouth the other day. I was at a party, and someone said something about like just a prank or something, and I was like, "Where's Ashton? Am I being punked?" And I was like, "Oh god, what am I doing?"
What have I done with my life?
All right, this show's fucking over. We're done.
Yeah.
We're talking
we
about
lost our-
punked.
We lost the train of thought long ago.
Yeah.
No, but I think we made our point. Like, games as a service is dangerous, and like you run the risk of making a good product and then ripping it out of the hands of, you know, the people who are enjoying it. And some people kind of side on the, you know, in the camp of, oh well, you know, play something new. But like, sometimes you want to play something that you already own and that's already good. People are still fucking playing Monopoly, and that board game was invented decades and decades and decades ago.
I played it for the first time like 2 months
Oh
ago.
yeah, that's right, because you're a fucking moron. Just kidding, I love
No,
you.
you're a fucking asshole.
Maybe he was just avoiding bad board games.
Wow.
Oh!
Get out.
But my point fucking stands. That, like, let people enjoy things by letting them download it and play it.
Also, Bully Hunters is fucking stupid.
Yeah, fuck Bully Hunters, I'm out. Bye.
Bye.